Hi, welcome to New Anime. Today I'll share a classic anime, Urusei Yatsura. Although decades have passed since it began to be serialized, the whole story now still fits everyone's taste for the harem anime. Well, let's take a look at the harem story of a boy named Ataru. Ataru is a playboy who always stares at other girls, so his girlfriend Miyake gets furious. To make Miyake happy, Ataru promises that he only likes her. After Miyake just gets happier, Ataru is drawn by other girls. Angry, Miyake slaps his face. Depressed, Ataru is lying beside the bridge. At this moment, a monk runs over and knocks him directly into the river. The monk's name is Sakurenbo. He thought that Ataru wanted to jump off the bridge and rush to save him. Just then, another accident happens. A group of men in black rushes over and surrounds Ataru. It turns out that the alien leader launches a game. They randomly select an Earthman to play a one-on-one game. As long as the Earthman catches the horn on the alien's head within 10 days, the Earthman will win. Once the Earthman fails, the alien will take over the Earth. If aliens lose, they will leave the Earth. This time they choose Ataru. Miyake is worried that Ataru will be in danger, so she strongly opposed. At this time, the daughter of the chief alien, Lum, appears. Who will be Ataru's opponent? The alien leader announces that the game will officially start tomorrow. In the competition, Ataru surprisingly finds out that Lum can fly, for which he can't even touch her. Lum moves so fast that Ataru still fails to meet Lum after 9 days. The alien leader arrogantly says that the Earth would belong to him for an interview. With only 1 day left before the end of the competition, Ataru feels stressed. To cheer Ataru up, Miyake promises to marry him as long as he wins the game, which makes Ataru determined to win tomorrow. On the last day of the competition, Ataru runs faster than ever and he can even reach Lum's feet. But to his surprise, Lum can give him an electric shock, which knocks him down. But Ataru still tries hard to get up. He rushes to Lum time after time and he doesn't want to give up, with a strong desire to win the game and marry Miyake. Ataru keeps shouting, "Marry me!" Suddenly, he attacks Lum and catches on her, causing her underclothes to fall off while she's struggling. Furious, Lum uses an electric shock on Ataru again. She angrily rushes to Ataru to get back her underwear. Ataru finally grabs her horn with her underclothes as bait. At the end of the competition, Earthmen win. Here the accident happens. Previously, Ataru has been shouting for marriage, which misleads Lum into thinking that it is the proposal to her. So she gets distracted during the competition and gets caught by Ataru. Lum straightly announces in public that she wants to marry Ataru. She decides to stay in Ataru's house, and Ataru, who wants to escape, gets paralyzed with an electric shock of Lum. Whenever Ataru tries to drive Lum out, Lum will use electric shocks on him. Later, Lum can't tolerate Ataru constantly driving her away, so she hides back in her flying saucer, using radio waves to stop Ataru and Miyake from talking. Ataru decides to meet Miyake. Out of jealousy, Lum controls the thunder and lightning with high-tech devices. As long as Ataru goes out, he will be punished. Seeing Ataru and Miyake running toward each other, Lum increases the intensity of the lightning, which leads to a large-scale power cut on the Earth. In the darkness, Ataru and Miyake hug each other. At this moment, the jealous girl Lum controls the flying saucer and crashes into them, which kicks up smoke and dust everywhere. Ataru can't see it clearly and mistakes Lum for Miyake and hugs her. Now Miyake also gets jealous. After that, Lum comes to the classroom again and tries to flirt with Ataru. When Lum forces a kiss on Ataru, everyone in the class gets angrier. They regard him as a playboy who abandons Miyake. Miyake is completely in a rage, even picking up the table and smashing Ataru madly. Ataru is covered in injuries, and he has to be careful with Lum's electric shock after he returns home. Ataru can't stand such a life anymore, so he chooses to disguise himself and runs away from home. But it isn't going well. A notice for a missing person with a photo of his leaving home is directly shown on TV. He tries to run away again, but bumps into a girl, Sakura. She's a witch, and she can tell that Ataru will suffer great disasters, all of which are related to women. The frail and sick girl Sakura is very kind to others. She has never been cured of her illness, but still wants to help others. She decides to take Ataru home to exorcise evil spirits. Every time Ataru tries to escape, the stubborn girl Sakura will catch him back. Meanwhile, Sakura's mouth gets swollen very badly, just like a monster. It turns out that Sakura is much sicker than other people, and she has been very weak, like has been cursed since she was a child. In the short dozens of minutes that Sakura gives Ataru an exorcism, she has had headaches and heart pains, which interrupts the exorcism ceremony several times. Halfway through the exorcism ceremony, Sakura feels that all her diseases have gone away. It turns out that Sakura accidentally transfers all the devils from her to Ataru. Shortly after, Sakura seals all these devils, which attracts Satan. Satan then attacks the private parts of Ataru. Ataru is sent to the hospital. Seeing him in a coma, his family feels worried. When he returns home, he returns to his life of being electrocuted by Lum every day. He asks Sakurenbo if he can seal Lum's superpower as Sakura does to the devils. For Ataru's safety, Sakurenbo makes a ribbon to seal Lum's superpowers. As long as Ataru puts the ribbon on Lum's horn, her superpower will be sealed, and only Ataru can take it off. Ataru coaxes Lum into saying that it's a gift from the husband to his wife. Lum falls for it. After Ataru puts the ribbon on her horn, her ability completely disappears. At this moment, Miyake comes to give food to Ataru. Lum shows off her ribbon to Miyake, which makes Miyake jealous and stay away from Ataru again. At night, Lum feels insecure after she lost her abilities. She has been staying over and trying to live with Ataru. Coincidentally, she sees a letter from Sakurenbo to Ataru and realizes that it was Ataru who caused her superpower to be sealed. Resignedly, Ataru can only untie the ribbon. After regaining her superpowers, Lum intensifies the power of the electric shock. Later, a rich man, Mr. A, takes a plane to escort his grandson Shutaro to school. When arriving at school, Shutaro performs dashing skydiving in no hurry. All the teachers and students are shocked by the transfer student who parachuted to school, and the teacher blames him for making such a big mess. Shutaro does not respond, and his attention is drawn to Miyake, who is jealous of Lum clinging to Ataru aside. A few words of praise from Shutaro to Miyake make her heart beat faster. When Ataru tries to stop Miyake from becoming obsessed with Shutaro, Miyake beats him so hard. Seeing Ataru keep pestering Miyake, Shutaro stops this rude behavior. Ataru explains that Miyake is his girlfriend. Before he could finish his words, he is electric shocked by the jealous girl Lum. Shutaro does not expect that the ordinary boy Ataru can have a beautiful alien wife. He tries to persuade Lum to break up with Ataru as soon as possible, but only gets ignored. Lum then flies to the tree to sleep. Shutaro continues hogging the limelight and takes the initiative to nominate himself when selecting the monitor. During his speech, he reveals some cruel punishments he is going to implement after taking office. At the end of his speech, Shutaro mentions that these cruel punishments are only effective for boys, which makes the boys strongly dissatisfied. So all the boys turn their attention to Ataru, thinking that only this reckless guy can compete with Shutaro. The simple-minded boy Ataru stands up for election when everyone is heckling and all the boys vote for him. Unexpectedly, the competition between Ataru and Shutaro ends in a tie. Shutaro is unwilling to admit defeat and proposes another match. In his family, there is a duel method that has been passed down for generations, which is to put apples on the heads of both parties of the game, and whoever breaks the apples with a cannon wins. Before the duel begins, Shutaro throws white gloves at Ataru according to Western etiquette, but Ataru dodges it perfectly at a super-fast speed, and then confuses Shutaro with ninjutsu. It takes Shutaro a long time to block Ataru on the roof. Just then, an accident happens. Lum comes to find Ataru but is hit by a white glove. Ataru lies that Shutaro wants to duel with her. Lum is competitive and she knocks Shutaro down. At this moment, the classmates arrive, and Ataru lies that he has defeated Shutaro. When Shutaro returns home, he can't calm himself down and keeps thinking of Lum, who has the same hot personality as her body. At the same time, Ataru has just confirmed that Miyake likes the nice, rich, and good-looking boy Shutaro. When Shutaro goes to school again, the parachute falls and covers the four of them. After having close physical contact with Shutaro, Miyake is very happy, which makes Ataru feel very frustrated. Also, Shutaro is frustrated because he starts to care about Lum, who only chases after Ataru. Not long after, the school organizes off-campus teaching. When it's time to explore freely, the four of them decide to take an adventure in a nearby stalactite cave together. Everyone has their thoughts. Miyake's goal is to be with Shutaro while Shutaro plans to improve his relationship with Lum. Lum only knows that she will go wherever Ataru goes, and Ataru wants to enhance the relationship with Miyake. As they start their adventure, they encounter a fork in the road. Shutaro turns off his flashlight and pretends the flashlight is dead. They end up losing their way in screams. Miyake hugs Shutaro tightly, and Lum sticks to Ataru. Resignedly, they gather together and continue to explore deeper inside the cave. Once again, they hit a fork in the road. Shutaro quickly turns off the flashlight, and they get separated again. This time Shutaro hugs Ataru. After that, they plan to go the same way back, but they get lost and the flashlight is out of power. When using her superpower to light the road, Lum accidentally activates a spaceship hidden in the cave, only to see that the spaceship crashes through the cave and flies into outer space. Soon after, four crows appear carrying the spaceship, and an elder of the crows leads the way. They are aliens like Lum who come to the Earth because of a secret mission. At this moment, the main characters are playing tennis on a nearby tennis court but accidentally knock down a crow, causing the spacecraft to lose its fulcrum and slide directly down the hill. The next moment, Shutaro is crushed to the ground by it. Seeing the beautiful alien girl in the spaceship, the lecherous boy Ataru rushes towards her. Even Shutaro is attracted to the girl. At this moment, the elder of the crows wakes up and reveals the reason they come to the Earth. There are no humanoid males in the elder of the crow's homeland, and they want to help Princess Kurama find handsome guys to reproduce. Seeing the handsome boy Shutaro, the crows think that he is qualified, so they ask him to wake up the sleeping Kurama with a kiss. Miyake stops Shutaro, firmly disagreeing with Shutaro to kiss another woman, while Lum stops Ataru because he wants to sneak to kiss Kurama. However, Ataru jumps hard and finally kisses Kurama. The elder of the crows tells everyone that according to tradition, the princess must have an intimate interaction with the man who kisses her. Just then, Kurama wakes up. She mistakes it was the handsome man Shutaro who awakened her and immediately intends to make babies with him. A disagreement strikes among the crows. The elder of the crows wants to tell Kurama that it was Ataru who kissed her, and the 4 crows think that they can hide this matter, since they just want Kurama to conceive Shutaro's child as soon as possible so that they can leave the Earth. After that, the 4 crows tie up the elder and fly to the school to find Kurama and Shutaro. To prevent the plan from being sabotaged, the crows tie up Ataru and Miyake, who are most likely to cause trouble, and then privately persuade Shutaro and Kurama to make babies. After hesitating for a while, Shutaro finally agrees to help. To their surprise, the crows and Kurama have built a space capsule in the school, intending to make them have intimate interactions in public. But Shutaro doesn't agree, so he wants to escape, but is captured by Kurama, who then slowly approaches Shutaro seductively. Just then, an accident happens. The elder and Ataru sneak into the capsule and tell Kurama the fact that Ataru kissed her. Kurama likes handsome guys, so she can't accept Ataru, but according to tradition, Kurama must make babies with the person who wakes her up with a kiss. Anguished, Kurama asks the elder what will happen if she violates tradition. The elder doesn't know the answer, but it was the previous elder who told him not to do that. The elder turns on a computer from their planet and asks the previous elder to what will happen if he violates tradition, but the previous elder doesn't know it either, only saying that his previous elder told him so. Until the current elder makes contact with the first elder, the answer is finally revealed. Many years ago, a powerful enemy invaded their planet and the first elder set out alone to rescue the captured princess. On the way, he defeated many enemies and met a comatose crow girl. The first elder couldn't help kissing her, and then they got married. Later, to commemorate his love, he made this tradition, which is so boring and is passed down for thousands of years. Now, without the constraints of tradition, Kurama decides to make babies with the handsome man Shutaro. At this time, Ataru covers Shutaro with a large bell, exploiting Shutaro's claustrophobia and causing him to scream in front of Kurama. Seeing Shutaro so timid, Kurama decides to find another brave and handsome man to make babies. After Kurama leaves, another beautiful woman shows up at school, who is the new health teacher, Sakura. Seeing the beautiful witch, the lecherous boy Ataru keeps saying he wants to marry her when he meets her. Later, a big accident occurs. Ataru picks up a pair of strange boxing gloves, and after wearing them, he uncontrollably hugs the girls with his right hand. Just then, Sakura changes into a witch's costume and comes over, who has discovered that the boxing gloves are hosted with the obsession of the previous owner. The glove of the right hand represents love, and the glove of the left hand represents rage. When Ataru puts on the 2 gloves, he hits the male teacher away with only 1 punch, who comes to class. To protect Lum, he volunteers to block his glove with his face, which is the first time that Lum sees Ataru get worried about her. After that, Sakura begins the exorcism ritual. She locks Ataru together with Lum to consume the obsession from the gloves. Ataru can't bear to attack Lum, which makes Lum very moved. In the end, Sakura completes the exorcism ritual and helps Ataru take off his gloves. However, Ataru and Lum haven't deepened their relationship after this accident. Lum always wants to hold Ataru's hands, but unfortunately, Ataru still keeps staring at other girls and refuses to accept her. Until this accident, their relationship finally ushers in some changes. The boys in the class can't stand Shutaro always receiving love letters, and they decide to find a way to steal the limelight from him. Soon the opportunity comes. They set their sights on Ataru and fabricate a non-existent girl to write a love letter to Ataru. After seeing the love letter, Ataru trembles with excitement, which successfully provokes the proud boy Shutaro. Meanwhile, Lum is very jealous, and Shutaro intends to take the opportunity to pursue Lum, saying that Ataru is so stupid that he can't tell the fake love letter and even believes it. So Ataru and Shutaro bet on whether the girl Otoko who writes the love letter exists. To embarrass Shutaro, the boys pay a girl to impersonate Otoko. The next day, another forged love letter is sent to Ataru, asking Ataru to meet and date this afternoon. Intending to provoke Ataru, Lum says that she wants to be with Shutaro, but Ataru is not jealous at all. Lum gets depressed and then overhears the boys talking. It turns out the girl pretending to be Otoko is sick and unable to show up for the appointment. Soon the appointed time comes. An hour has passed since the appointed time, and the girl who wrote to him still hasn't shown up. Just when Ataru gets very desperate, a beautiful woman claiming to be Otoko appears, making Ataru so happy that he immediately hugs the girl. However, he is surprised to find that it is Lum who disguises herself as Otoko. After leaving the cafe, Ataru learns the truth from Lum that Otoko doesn't exist, and it is Lum's kindness that saves Ataru's face. At this moment, driven by several complex emotions including appreciation, guilt, affection, Ataru holds Lum's hands. However, Ataru soon leaves Lum again. One day, Ataru meets Lum, who is dressed strangely, and she opens the portal and brings Ataru back to her hometown, Anaboshi. Many competitions are held every day on Anaboshi. When he is forced to take part in the competition, Ataru discovers a beautiful girl in the opponent's camp, who is actually Lum's friend Benton, and he immediately starts to talk with her. Lum is very angry because Ataru is a playboy. Benton deliberately distracts Lum by flirting with Ataru. Finally, Lum loses her mind and is defeated. As is customary, the loser's side will have to pick one of them to be punished, and Lum's father chooses Ataru, who caused their failure. The punishment is to tie up Ataru, and everyone throws a ball at him. After leaving Anaboshi, Ataru has been pretending to be sick and not going to school. Miyake, Sakuranbo, and Shutaro all come to visit him, and Ataru seizes the opportunity to take advantage of Miyake again. Suddenly, it is snowing in the house, and Sakuranbo senses something abnormal in the wardrobe. After Shutaro opens the wardrobe, a large amount of ice and snow buries everyone, and a girl with the look of Snow Woman hugs Ataru. Her name is Oyuki, and she is also an alien girl, who attracts all the boys on the spot. They decide to send her home together. Ataru's wardrobe has been transformed by Lum into a special teleportation that connects the Earth and many other planets. Soon, a deep underground pit with no end in sight appears in front of them, and there comes the sound of Lum calling Oyuki from inside. Later, Oyuki jumps in it, and then Shutaro kicks Ataru down. They then come to Neptune, and Lum is also here. The girls from Neptune are very excited when they see the boys, and they immediately take Shutaro home to shovel snow. The reason why they are so excited is that there are few males in Neptune, and they need more people to do the manual work here. When Oyuki hosts Ataru, she explains that it snows too much on Neptune, so they send snow to other planets through teleportation. When Ataru was still dissatisfied because his room is flooded with snow, he immediately changes his attitude and pleases Oyuki because of her good figure. So Ataru is chased around by Lum, and Oyuki puts him in his room to rest when she meets him, which further seduces the boy. Ataru finds that Oyuki seems to be interested in him, so they have more and more intimate interactions. At this critical moment, an orangutan breaks in. The orangutan is a servant who has always had a crush on Oyuki, and it starts to hunt Ataru down. To save his life, Ataru throws himself into the teleportation, but unexpectedly, the orangutan also jumps in. Together, they arrive on the roof of Ataru's house. After that day, Ataru falls ill again, and when they come to visit him, they talk about Shutaro, who has not been to school for many days. It turns out that Shutaro enjoys being praised by many girls of the Neptune, so he stays to shovel snow. The story of the 6 episodes ends here. I haven't watched old anime for a long time. Urusei Yatsura is different from the new anime released in recent years. There is no upgrade, hot blood, or a real villain. It is more like a slightly adolescent version of Doraemon. Some are just the simple, happy daily life of adolescent boys and girls, and I personally think it's good to change the taste after watching lots of transmigration and magic anime. I don't know if you like this kind of genre, or support me to pick more classic old anime to make video recaps. Welcome to talk about your opinion in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Your support is my motivation to keep updating the video. Bye.